And we're live. Welcome back for another deadline stream. I'm not sure if that song goes with the intro, actually, in the stream intro. I thought I'd chuck the Focal remix in, but I think it's not the right song for the intro. Anyway, thank you all for being here. How are we all today? Hope you're all doing very well. Thanks for being here already, of course. Or if you're watching on catch up, then thanks for tuning in as well. Yeah, I don't know what to think of the remixes. Those of you that have been following the videos, I've had this really annoying issue where the OG song's been copyrighted, so I've had to make a remix of it, and yeah, I don't know what to think of it yet. It might still be a work in progress because the OG song was just too good in the videos. Thomas says devastated about losing the OG. I know, it's so annoying. What's weird, I did some test uploads yesterday and it didn't get flagged, so I don't know if they've backed off or what's happened there, so maybe I can go back to using it. FPL Chai, welcome to the stream. He says, morning Oscar, how was your start to pro clubs other than the servers being down? Yeah, not too bad. I'm 83 overall already. Played last night with a few mates. Yeah, we're doing alright actually. We've only lost 2 games all yesterday. How are you getting on? Welcome to the stream. Razvan, Apex, Aditya, C-Mac, Henry, Mitten, Oliver, Thomas, Poisky, Sean, Jan, Samyak, Ash, Jarvis, and everyone else that's here already. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're all well. Good to have FPL back. Yeah, I'm looking like a roll this week. What are you guys doing with your teams this week? Are you rolling, or have you made a move already? Rogba says, I don't really care about the song, I just want the content. Well, I'm glad you said that, because some people do massively care about the song, and I can understand why, because it's kind of an iconic song, and I'm proper gutted about the song, but anyway, it is what it is. Making the best of a bad situation. Morning, Nat Dewan, how we doing? Nah, no Watkins in my team. I can't afford him. I have no way to get him. I'd love to have Watkins, but there's just no way to accommodate him in my team personally. Smith Rowe Rogers. It's close, but I think I'd actually go Rogers. Which sounds mad because he's not returned yet this season, but I think I'd just about give that to Rogers. Concert or Robinson, asks Andre. That's close as well. I would say Concert. Close one, I'd say Concert just about. But obviously, like, if Isak's out, which we don't know 100%, then obviously that benefits Robinson in terms of clean sheet odds. But I think I'd go Conser there. They might both concede, to be honest with you. Should I start Isak over Muniz from Bipra? Yeah, I'd definitely start Isak over Muniz. Muniz, I'm almost certain, won't start this week, whereas Isak, if he's fit, he'll start. There could be a case that Isak starts or he's not in the squad at all. That's the thing. So I think I would... I mean, this was what was said in the press conference. In fact, this came from FPL Brandon. He spotted a quote from Craig Hope, I think Daily Mail, and he said, he hasn't trained to my knowledge, certainly in the earlier middle part of the week. Newcastle said they're making a late call. My information is I think he'll play, definitely with the group, and I think he'll probably start. So that's an interesting quote. I think it sounds like there's a good chance he will start. He got hit in the face with a ball last game week, and he had a nosebleed, and then he had apparently an eye issue, and then he had a toe issue, so he's had a few issues. Was there an embargo quote? What do they say, British? Thanks, Senior Lump, you too, mate. Best budget forward to get? I'd say, in my opinion, the best right now is Calvert-Lewin, and then close behind him is Vardy. I'd say, yeah, Calvert-Lewin, then Vardy. Vardy's got Arsenal away in game week 6, so whereas Calvert-Lewin, you can just start him every week. And I just have a feeling like Everton are going to turn it around, and they've got great fixtures now, so surely they have to start turning it around like this week, or Dyche will be sacked. So yeah, I've got a gut feeling that Everton will get a win this game week. Is it that crazy to start Howard Bellis against Ipswich at home? No, I don't think so. I think that's fine. Depends who else you've got in your defence, but I think starting Howard Bellis home to Ipswich is perfectly fine. Shiraz says, if there will be a leak that Kwanzaa will start, who are you starting him in for? I probably wouldn't, to be honest, because the only one I could swap out is Dunk, or maybe Smith Rowe, but I was thinking about it and I'm not sure if I will. I think Alisson might be out as well. I'll try and get confirmation from a Liverpool in the know during the stream, but I think there's a good chance we see Kelleher for Liverpool today. I hate to say, for those of you that have got Alisson. And it's not great for those of us with like Trent or Robertson either. Pratik, thanks for becoming a member before the stream started. Appreciate that. And Flandy's with the 29 months. And he says, I turn 30 tomorrow and yet so close to 30 months. Thanks, Flandy, for the 29 months. Crazy. Crazy support. I think you must be one of the longest members there is. If anyone else wants to become a member, it's the join button below the stream. To support the channel. You get a little badge by your name, a loyalty badge. You get early access to videos, the members channel, Discord, members league, and it supports the channel. So use the join button if you're interested. Kiwara says, should I start Semenyo? Depends who in place of. I mean, away at Liverpool is one of the toughest fixtures. So it really depends who you're starting instead. Is it worth taking a -8 point hit to get in Salah? I wouldn't personally take a -8 to get Salah. I'd be reluctant to take a -4 even. Best captain if you don't have Salah from Arias. Well, these are the projections for this game week. Where are they? There they are. So this week, Salah's top, and then it's Son on 6.3 points. Then it's Palmer. Haaland's in 4th, 5.6. Solanke, Eze. So I'd go with one of those if you don't have Salah. I mean, if anyone hasn't got Salah, let us know in chat. Who's your captain this week? Who are you going, Salah non-owners? Are you just going to go Haaland, keep it simple? Or are you looking at other ones here like Son, Palmer, maybe Eze? Maybe a Liverpool defender like Trent. He's due a return. Watkins, yeah. Balteri's going Haaland. Ethy's going Jota. Word of warning to those of you that have got Jota, Diaz. There's a good chance we get some early team news during this game. Like Liverpool team news. And I have a gut feeling that one of Diaz or Jota won't start this week. Might be wrong, but I've got a gut feeling one of them's going to be swapped out. So Slot said last game week, I would have started Gakpo this week, but Gakpo was involved heavily over the international break, so he started Diaz. And Gakpo was really good in the Champions League. Jota didn't have a great game either. Darwin came on. He's been saying good things about Darwin. So I've just got a feeling one of them won't start. And I think it'll be Gakpo that comes in for one of them. Probably not Darwin. So it could be Gakpo just up top, or it could be Gakpo in for Diaz, Jota up top. So, yeah, bottom left of your screen, there's a widget, starts and benched. If we get any reliable early team news, then I'll update it there with whatever we hear. Morning, John. David McCavey says the app is great. Thanks very much. I can't believe how much of a success the app's been. It's mental. There's over 70,000 people using the app and website now, which is like way more than I ever expected. If anyone wants to get it, it's in the App Store. It's completely free. It's got like your live rank. It's got bonus points. It's got fixture ticker tool, players league, top 10k stats, and we're adding to it all the time. So yeah, search FPL Focal in the App Store if you want to install it on your phone. It's free. Thanks, Flandy. Is this your final squad? Yeah, I'm not planning to make any moves this week, so this is, unless we get some major news before the deadline, this is how I'm lined up this week. I'll leave it as it is and roll. I'll take 2 transfers into Gameweek 6, and then I can make a decision what to do, whether I wildcard or just spend 2 moves. I could sell Salah for Palmer in Gameweek 6, which gives me the money for Smith Rowe to Bumo. That's one option. I could go Salah to Bumo and then Cannon to Havertz, so that gives me 8 attackers. Just downloaded the app. Thanks, Rickstar. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks everyone that's used the app. It's yeah, it's overwhelming like how popular it's been. And we're adding to it all the time. There's more to come. How to see ID. If you go to points on the FPL site, and then if you go to points, and then in the URL, you'll see some numbers. So it'll be like fantasy.premierleague.com/entry/ and then those numbers after that are your ID. Everyone's got their own unique ID in FPL, which represents their team. Is the app good? Go install it, Striker, and decide for yourself. I think it's great. I've been working on it for like a year, so It's made by someone that just gets FPL, so I think it's great, personally, in my unbiased opinion. What were the price changes today, anyway? Were there many last night? I mean, the website's fpl.page if you want to just access it from your browser instead, on your phone. Watkins went up. How many price rises did you guys have last night? Watkins went up, Welbeck went up, Sanchez, Trent, Haaland, Pedro Porro. Aina went back up to 4.5. So I had Trent, Haaland and Porro. So 0.3 mil rise. Fernandez went down last night. Joe had 3 as well. Teddy's good. He's around the families this morning. They're looking after him till I finish the stream. But he's well. 3 for Hugo. João Pedro or DCL? DCL. 4 price rises, nice. 0.5 mil team value gained overnight. My team value, oh yeah, my team value's not correct. I've got more than that. Yeah, can I update that now? Let me try that real quick. Stream design. Is it that one? So, I went up 0.3, so 100.4. Aina or Robinson to start? I'd go for Aina. Likely to keep a clean sheet. Alright, so 100.4. There we go. Did that update? Boom. Havertz or Greaves? You got to start Havertz, haven't you? You've got to start a striker. I know it's away at City, but I'd start Havertz. Thoughts on Solanke being a good differential? Yeah, he absolutely is. Definitely is. They've got decent fixtures. I mean, it's got to be a matter of time until he starts scoring. Yeah, I like the Solanke pick. The thing is, like, if I was picking my ideal front 3, I'd probably want Havertz from Gameweek 6, but obviously you could go Saka and then double Arsenal defence. So, Gabriel and Saliba, or Gabriel and Raya. I still think White is going under the radar. So if you don't go Havertz, then yeah, you could have the option for Solanke there, and then a budget third forward alongside Haaland, so like Haaland, Solanke, Calvert-Lewin, for example. I think if you've got João Pedro, unless you've got a really good option on your bench, you just start him. I feel like he'll start, or he won't be in the squad at all. I just don't think they'll risk him on the bench. If he's not 100%, my personal feeling is they're not going to risk him. Like having him on the bench and then bringing him on if there's a risk he gets injured or aggravates whatever that problem was. So that's why I'm starting him. Like, I've got Konsa if he's not in the squad, so it's not the end of the world anyway. Vignesh, thanks for the super chat. He says it's so frustrating to watch Son under Ange. He plays too wide. I agree with that. And he says planning on transfer him for Saka next game week. Yeah, that move makes total sense to me. Yeah, he's been playing like super wide, so I'm not sure how appealing or how well he's going to do this season. Like, he will come up with the odd haul like he did against Everton, but yeah, he's just not involved enough for me for what is he, 10 million? I'd much rather have Salah, Saka, Palmer, any of those 3 premiums from Gameweek 6. So yeah, I agree with that. Good move. I wouldn't use the word essential, but I think you really have to have a plan to get Saka Gameweek 6. I mean, those of you that don't have Saka, are you going to be getting him next week, or are you wildcarding? What's the plan? Just think you have to have at least one Arsenal attacker when they've got Leicester and Southampton home back-to-back, then Bournemouth away. Mihali's wildcarding. I think we're going to see loads of wildcards next week. Loads. I'm undecided. I'm undecided if I use mine yet. He can't beat his man. Yeah, true. British has got Kai. Yeah, I love the Havertz pick. Interested to see if he carries on playing up top or whether, you know, Trossard goes up top, Havertz plays sort of the Odegaard role. They're kind of interchanging against Spurs, but I still think Havertz is great. He can still get returns even if he's playing a little bit deeper. You bought Calvert-Lewin for João Pedro? Yeah, I think Calvert-Lewin's my favourite budget forward. If I had to pick one. And then Vardy. And then maybe Welbeck. Morning VHRD, how we doing? Is Duran a good pick this week, mate? Probably not. I mean, Willie Crowbar, Watkins, Duran and Rodgers all in together. He might try it, but I just think he probably, for the most part, I don't think Duran starts. So I wouldn't buy Duran despite his form. Fact Machine says, Leaf Davis Nation, are we awake? Yeah, who's got Davis? I feel like he's really going under the radar. He's going to come up with like a clean sheet and assist sort of game at some point with the upcoming fixtures. Maybe if I wildcard next week, I'll have him. Start Vardio or Howard Bellis? That's pretty close. I'd probably start Vardio between those two. Dallow's been the most underrated pick. Who's been the most underrated player so far? I'm just trying to think who's going under the radar. Lewis Dunk, 2 clean sheets and 4.5 mil. Who else is going under the radar? It's quite a difficult one to answer. Because like, Calvert-Lewin's not really under the radar now. Like, loads of people are buying him this week. Aina, that's a good one, Vishal. Yeah, Aina. Leif Davis. Ahmad. Yeah, Van Heck. Yeah, everyone's going... Well, those that are going Brighton defence are going Dunk, but Van Heck... No, I've not played my wildcard yet, Darts. Still got it. I might use it in Gameweek 6, but I might save it. I'm not sure yet. Dwight McNeil, that's a great shout. Yeah, McNeil, definitely. Yeah, McNeil's someone I could buy Gameweek 6 or 7. I think he'll be in lots of wildcards Gameweek 6, because Everton have got nice fixtures. Yeah, McNeil. I think McNeil probably wins as the most underrated pick right now. I remember there was a rant on Reddit. Someone was like, FPL Reviews telling me to sell whatever player and buy McNeil. That's how I know AI is still washed or something. And then McNeil got like 1 goal, 1 assist against Aston Villa. Thanks for the super chat. Senior Lump. He says, favourite and least favourite FPL player of all time. Oh, good question. Let us know in chat as well. Who's your favourite and least favourite FPL player of all time? Favourite might be maybe Michu. Was it 2012? I was still at uni then and just like a proper FPL casual, but he joined and it was completely unknown when he joined Swansea. Classified as a mid, but he played as a striker and he got 18 goals and like 3 assists. And he was like 6.5 mil. Suarez in 2000, is it 13, 14? Where he got like 31 goals, 20 assists. That season I just had him permanent captain. And every time he played against Norwich, he got like a hat-trick, or he got 4 goals I think one game. Least favourite, probably Digne. A couple of years ago I started with Digne and he wiped his own clean sheet in like the 89th minute. So he went from the clean sheet, 6 points plus bonus, to the minus points from the own goal, the minus points for wiping his own clean sheet, and the minus points for losing the bonus. Oh, I forgot to put slow mode back on to help with the spam. Hang on. Sorry about slow mode. It has to be done. Let me get through the other super chat. So, Mitten, with the 10 months, he says, all Arsenal players out this week, wildcard and next game week. Yeah, I don't hate that strategy. It kind of makes sense for 1 week, and then you get them straight back in. I think that's sound. I think that works. Moama says, hi Oscar, start 3 out of João Pedro, Muniz, and Nkunku, Dunk, and Konsa. I'd start João Pedro, Dunk, and Konsa, and I'd put Nkunku ahead of Muniz on the bench. Andre says, what do you think of Johnson to start for Ipswich? I think his starts are going to be really unpredictable. He didn't start last game week. Tuanzebe had a good game, so I'd say he's probably more unlikely to start than likely to start this week, if I'm honest. Yeah, he's going to be an unpredictable starter. Like, Greaves is the one that's just nailed and will start every week for Ipswich. Johnson, not so much. If I had to guess, I'd say doesn't start. Zelda says, morning Oscar, best mid-term punt, thinking Vardy. For mid-term, I'd say Calvert-Lewin, because Vardy's got Arsenal in Game Week 6. So I'd say Calvert-Lewin. Who else? It depends on mid-term. Like Game Week 6 and 7, Semenyo is the best little punt in the game. So I think he's got like Southampton and Ipswich, is it? Or Leicester, back-to-back. But this week, obviously, he's away at Liverpool, so not this week. Is there anyone else? I mean, if we get like a leaked Gakpo starts, then I think you could just go for someone like Gakpo as well. But it depends how long mid-term is. Andy Birch says, great content. Howard Bellis or Winks this week? Thanks, Andy, for the super chat. I would say Howard Bellis. I mean, he's probably likely to get a clean sheet than Winks is to get an attack in return, I would say. Do we often get Chelsea team news? Still got Nkunku. Who do I replace him with or wait for wildcard? We don't really get Chelsea leaks. There's some pages that do like predicted lineups, but we don't really get leaks as such. I actually wouldn't be surprised if he starts over Jackson this week, but I can understand selling him. Did you say you're wildcard in Game Week 6? I've lost your message now. Wait for wildcard. I'd be tempted to sell if I had him. I'd probably sell if I had him. It wouldn't surprise me if he starts over Jackson, but I think I'd probably sell. Yeah, Davies is a good pick. KDB news. So, he went off at half-time in the Champions League with a groin problem. And Guardiola says he doesn't know yet whether De Bruyne's fit enough to face Arsenal on Sunday. It came off at half-time against Inter on Wednesday with a reported groin injury. There were rumours that he's going to be out for the game, but you never know, because Pep didn't rule him out, but you never know with Pep. Winsley says, do I keep De Bruyne or replace with Son? I would replace him. I'd replace him. Kyle says, loving your content, Oscar. You've helped me heaps being a first-year player. Currently owns Saliba. Is it too much to go Raya, Gabriel? So triple Arsenal defence, or he says better to go Raya, Saka. I would get Saka. Personally, I wouldn't want to go into these fixtures without Saka. Like, don't get me wrong, Arsenal could keep clean sheets. Game Week 6, 7, 8. And you could do easily as well as obviously owning Saka, and Saka costs way more, but I would say get Saka. And then double Arsenal defence instead. Havertz for Solanke Game Week 6. Yeah, I like that. Obviously Solanke's fixtures aren't bad, but I'd much prefer Havertz over Solanke. Maybe he's another one. To answer that earlier question on the most underrated players this season, I'd say Solanke. Sorry, Havertz. I don't think he'll be underrated once we hit those fixtures from Game Week 6. I think he'll be in lots more teams then. Anything about Isak? There was, I mean, he's apparently had this toe problem. FPL Brandon caught this quote. He hasn't trained to my knowledge, certainly in the early and middle part of the week. Newcastle said they'd make a late call. My information is I think he'll play, definitely with the group, and I think he probably will start. So that's the best guess. The problem with Isak and Newcastle is Eddie Howe's a bit of a fraud. Like, he doesn't tell us anything in his press conferences. He never gives anything away. He's rarely honest about any players, unless they're injured long term still. Like, Howe's got no problem saying, yeah, Wilson's still out for a while, but he's like injured on his birthday. Yeah, there's an interesting theory going around that when it's his birthday, he takes it off. I mean, I don't know. What's he doing on his birthday? Just going out in Newcastle? He wouldn't go out in Newcastle on his birthday, though, would he? Because the press would be all over it. Well, maybe. Rinners, thanks very much for becoming a member. Thanks for the support, Rinners. And Jago as well with the 10 months. Start Ryan or Ramsdale. So much to consider, he says. Between those, I'd start Ramsdale. What's the clean sheet I'd say this week? This week, Arsenal 19%. Southampton 27%. So, I mean, in terms of clean sheet probabilities, you're 8% likelier to get a clean sheet from Ramsdale. They probably both concede. You never know of Arsenal. Like last season, they didn't concede home or away. But personally, I'd just about give it to Ramsdale. Captain Jota, if there's news he's starting. I probably wouldn't, because he'll come off early. Like last game week, he didn't even make it to 60 minutes, did he? Wasn't he like 8 seconds short of 60 minutes? That's quite a brutal rule though, don't you think? Like, do you guys think it should be when they crossed over the line, or should it be when the board goes up? Because obviously, Jota came off first. So just purely the order of the substitutions meant Diaz got an extra 2 points. And obviously some players that are on the far side might be likelier to get those extra points if they've got further to walk. Does Armstrong start? I wouldn't be confident in it after last game week. Probably not. Minte or João Pedro? Just about João Pedro, I'd say. I'm not sure about Minte. I think this week he's 50-50 to start, if I'm honest. Might see Rutter get a start. 50-50 though. He's played so many games. But he does have insane fitness, Minte, so maybe he just keeps playing. Allison News. So on the left-hand side, there's a news widget that pops up there. Basically, he's got this groin problem, and he's a doubt for the game. I've asked a couple of Liverpool in the no account, so if they say yes or no to whether he starts, then I'll let you know, and I'll update bottom corner. I think he might miss out, if I'm honest. True Mudkip says, is Dallo a pick? Tossing up between him and Porro. I can't trust the Man United defence. There's nothing about Man United's defence that's telling me it's worth investing in. I know he's got the attacking threat, but the clean sheet potential is just so low right now. They're not a solid team defensively. I think I'd rather another cheaper defender than Dallo. But obviously they do have good fixtures soon, so like maybe the likes of Garnacho or Ahmad or Rashford could be coming to our thinking soon, but I'm not sure about the defence. Yeah, I like Isak to Solanke. That's a good move. Vardy to Porro. Yeah, I like that. The thing is though, from game week, what is it, game week 7, they've got Fulham, Wolves, Southampton. So you're probably going to want a Man City defender back in. Maybe you could just go for Lewis instead if you haven't got him. He's a player I'm looking at. We might get, you know, some early team news. I think game week 7 they play at like 3 o'clock, so we might get some news there. And I think game week 10 they play at 3 o'clock as well, so maybe we'll get some early team news then. But yeah, I suppose it makes sense for the next couple of game weeks. In theory, he should... Is the audio glitching? Is it? Looks alright at my end. Sancho in the starting 11. I wouldn't count on it. I would not be going anywhere near Sancho. Personally. Nowhere near him. They've got too many options. Yeah, interestingly, Maresca did comment on about how the different players competing for different positions. And I think it was Sancho and Neto competing for the left, and Mudryk as well. And he said, and Nkunku and Jackson competing for the number 9 spot. So yeah, we might see Nkunku up top instead of Jackson this week. Audio's fine. Okay, cool. DCL or Vardy? It's close, but I'd give it to Calvert-Lewin. He's been back in training after missing the League Cup midweek. Dilo Beatbox, yes, Focalizer. He's got 7.7 mil for a 2-week striker, wildcard in 7. Considering Solanke, but is he the clear option? Yeah, I mean, it's for that price, it's Solanke or Calvert-Lewin. I'd say Solanke, yeah. I think you're right with Solanke. Thoughts on Kevin Shader? Is it Shade, Shader, or Shadder? Shader, is it? Yeah, I'm going to be seeing how they get on this week and how they line up. Because he could be a really interesting one with Vissa's injury. Like, if we see him playing up top and he's 5.4 mil. Shada. Oh, it's Shada. Yeah, he's an interesting one. Sade. It's not Sade. Shada. Okay, thanks, Grandmaster. Yeah, Shada. Yeah, okay, I got it. Shada. Yeah, he's an interesting one. I'd like to see how he gets on this game week first, how they line up, what his minutes are like. Just in case, he comes off early and then they move Mbeumo up top and then, I don't know, Carvalho moves to the wings and Lewis Potter the other wing. But yeah, definitely on the watch list. Yeah, it may be a bit risky to go this week. Maybe it's a week too early. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be scouting him. Could be a good option from Game Week 6. Is he German or French? He's German. Calvert-Lewin or Vardy? Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, he's back in training. Start Gabriel or Konsa? Konsa. Welbeck or Wood? I'd say for this week, Welbeck. Long term, Wood. If that makes sense, because Wood's got better fixtures longer term. Triple Arsenal defence. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Connor. And for me, there's no way I'm going without Saka, Game Week 6 onwards. Like, if I didn't have him, I've already got him, so it's a headache safe. But if I didn't have him, he'd be top of my priority list for Game Week 6. What would be interesting is whether people go Salah to Saka in Game Week 6. If any of you don't have Saka now, are you going to buy him Game Week 6, or are you going to stick with Salah away at Wolves? That'll be an interesting one, an interesting dilemma. I've got 3 premiums, so my team's a bit different. I'll probably go Salah to Mbeumo, and then maybe Cannon to Havertz, Game Week 6. That gives me double Arsenal attack. I might, because I have 2 million in the bank if I make those moves in Game Week 6. I'll just show it here. So if I go Salah to Mbeumo, I can go Cannon to Havertz, so then I've got 8 playable attackers. So then I've got the option to bench, like Smith or away at Forest, for example. I'll have 2.1 million in the bank, so I could take a -4 for Raya. That's an option, or I could just wait till Game Week 7 and do it for free. But it's quite tempting to just do that, and then I can address something else in Game Week 7. Or I could wildcard and save the 4 points, but I don't know how different my wildcard would be. I'd have Haaland, I'd have Havertz, I'd have Saka, I'd have Rodgers, I'd have Mbeumo, I'd have Trent, I'd probably have Porro. So a lot of it would be the same, so I don't know if I would actually need to wildcard Game Week 6. David Raya's on fire, my best pick probably. Yeah, that's why I'm tempted to take that -4, because I just don't want to go without the Arsenal defence, because everyone's going to be loading up. It's already got really high ownership, Arsenal defence. And I just can't go without Arsenal defence any longer, so yeah. I'll be buying Game Week 7 at the absolute latest. Blue Boy, thanks for the super chat. He says, I've got Quansah, Barco, Isak, Bruno, Savia, Madueke. Should I wildcard? Bruno's fine. Yeah, obviously Quansah, Barco problems. Madueke should start. Savio's hard to say. Probably starts. The thing is, Game Week 6 looks like a way better wildcard week to me than this week. That's the problem. Because if you wildcard Game Week 6, you're going to have triple Arsenal. But you don't want to have triple Arsenal if you wildcard now against City. That's the dilemma. I don't think I would. I think I would activate it in, 2 hours once the game updates. Activate it straight away for Game Week 6. And just ride out this week. I think that's what I would do. And you could go for a 1 week punt if you're not sure on Savio, for example. I think Madueke, Bruno, Isak's probably going to be alright. But you could, yeah, I'd just take a 1 week punt like Isak to Calvert-Lewin or Savio to a cheap mid and then activate it as soon as the deadline passes for Game Week 6. Adam Hanif says, should I swap Ahmad with Hudson-Odoi or not? I don't think I would. Ahmad's doing fine, isn't he? Didn't he get a return again last week? How are we doing, Beardy? No, I don't think I'd sell Ahmad for Hudson-Odoi. Brighton away is not an easy fixture either. McNeil or Calvert-Lewin? Depends who you're selling, really. I mean, McNeil's got a way better injury record, so I'd say probably McNeil between the two of them. But it depends who you're selling. Let's get a captain poll going then. So what we have? Haaland, Salah, maybe Watkins and other. If you go other, message and chat who your other is. Poll is up. Get your votes in. Yeah, thanks everyone that's tuned in so far. We've got 1,800. So if you've enjoyed this stream so far, drop a like. Make sure you're subscribing. Get your questions in the chat. Lewis or Vardy? I mean, neither of them look that appealing right now. They've got Arsenal. Last week they played 45 minutes each. If I had to pick one, probably Lewis just about, but I don't trust either of them for minutes right now. But Vardy will start, yeah. He has to start. There's no way he goes Lewis left back, Walker right back, right? Surely not. Is Duran a good pick? No, I'd probably swerve him. I don't think he's going to start regularly. Ahmad, Smith-Rowe, Rodgers start too. I'd start Rodgers. And then it's Ahmad or Smith-Rowe. Probably Smith-Rowe. Jack asked about Delap as a 1 week punt against Southampton. I don't hate it. He came off before 60 minutes last week, which is a bit concerning though. I'd rather Calvert-Lewin or Vardy as a cheap 1 week punt. Only Moly, how we doing? Welcome to the stream. He sold Eze for Diaz. For Diaz? Which Diaz? Luis Diaz. What I will say is we have a good chance of getting some Liverpool team news near the deadline. So I was saying at the start of the stream, my gut feeling is one of Jota or Diaz won't start this week. I have a feeling Gakpo might come in for one of them. So if you've got either of those or thinking about buying, then wait till nearer the deadline. We're bound to get some team news near the deadline. And I know a lot of you have got Jota or Diaz. British says Diaz could be benched for Gakpo. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Slot said that Gakpo would have started in Game Week 4, but he played loads over the international break, so that was the only reason he didn't start last Game Week. So yeah, just be careful with that one if you've got either of those players or looking at buying. Adam says Bumo in for Bruno. I don't think you need to do it this week. Probably not this week. I'd leave it a week and do that in Game Week 6. Seems pretty sideways this week, Adam. I'd wait a week on that one. Isak replacements. If you've got the 0.5 mil line around, then Watkins is by far the best replacement. If you don't, Solanke, or if you want a budget forward, Calvert-Lewin. Should I keep Isak? Is he fit? Well, we don't know 100% because Howells never tells anything. Never tells us anything in his press conferences. So there's a good chance he's absolutely fine and he'll start. There's a good chance he's already been ruled out. But Howell would never tell us that. I think if you've got Isak, it really depends on who you've got on your bench and whether they're a good auto sub or not. If you don't have a good bench option, then I'd just sell him. Cut your losses. If you've got a good option off your bench, then keep him. He'll either start or probably not be in the squad. Probably unlikely that he's on the bench and comes on, is my best guess. Only Moly says he's planning to wildcard next week. He's got 1.3 mil on the bank. And he says, would you say it's better to go for a 1 week punt here or save the transfer for after the wildcard? So how many transfers have you got, Only Moly? Because if you've got one, then you may as well use it, right? Because you'll have one anyway, the other side of the wildcard. But yeah, if you've got two or more, then it's different. It's hard to say about knowing your team, but yeah, if you've got 2 or more free transfers, then I'd be inclined to save the free transfers and carry them over. Footballera says save the transfer as well. Love from Botswana, says Kaya. Where's everyone tuned in from today? Let us know in chat where we tuned in from. In fact, tag me on Twitter and a photo of your stream setup and I'll retweet it. Or if you're watching on TV or on your phone or watching on your smart fridge. Yeah, but let us know where you tuned in from today. Got almost 2,000 tuned in. New Zealand, Nepal, Denmark, Mauritius, Worcestershire, Norway, South Africa, London, Melbourne, Finland, Taiwan, Spain, Ghana, India, Nigeria, Devon, Bulgaria, Nottingham. Did someone say Watford? No, Hertford. Norwich, China. Ipswich to keep a clean sheet again. Italy, Romania, Mars. Maldives. Nice, David. Wish I was in the Maldives. So 64% are captain and Salah, 20% Haaland, 9% Watkins, 7% other. I live near Watford, Jago. That's why I was asking. Right, let us know in chat. How many players have you got from the scout selection this week? Here's how they're lined up. They've got Verbruggen in goal. They've got Trent, Digne and Aina. They've got Salah captain, Son. What was it again? Sharda and McNeil. Haaland, Watkins and Delap. How many of you guys got? So I've got Trent, Salah, Haaland. 3. Oh, you got 3 as well? 2. Mikey's got 3. That the one's got 4. Only 3. 2. William's got 6. Fair play. Yeah, I've only got 3 this week. Interesting. They've gone for Delap as well. I don't know if they were tight for budget, but I would have gone for Calvert-Lewin or Vardy. You're in Watford right now, having a pizza. Fair play. Pizza at 9:30 in the morning? Surely not. Do they do breakfast pizza? I've never had pizza for breakfast. Unless, like, I don't know, I've been out the night before and I've got leftover pizza. But, like, I wouldn't go to a restaurant at 9:30 and get pizza. What the hell? Hope it's a good pizza, though. Sancho for Eze? Do you mean buying Sancho? I would not buy Sancho. Definitely wouldn't be buying Sancho. Sancho to Eze I can get. But not Eze to Sancho. Leftover pizza's the best. What's the best takeaway? Let's put that one to bed. What's the best takeaway? Pizza? Indian? Chinese? What else is there? Like burgers or McDonald's, Burger King. How are we doing, Connor? Chinese? Alright, quick poll on that then. Let's put that one to bed. I mean, I can only do 4 options. That's the problem. There we go. Catch up on super chats. Where did I get to? I think it's Matesy. He says bench 1 out of João Pedro, Eze, Smith Rowe and Rogers. Out of all of those, probably Smith Rowe. I'd just about start Rogers over Smith Rowe. I'll start João Pedro. If he doesn't play at all, then Smith Rowe comes on. I feel like he'll start or not be in the squad, so I'd start João Pedro. So, yeah, Smith Rowe on the bench. Adam says, should I roll this game? I've got 3 transfers. Well, it depends if you've got something to spend it on, Adam. It's hard to say about seeing your team, but Like, if your team's in good shape, there's nothing wrong with rolling and having 4. I do type fast, yeah. I've done a typing test on stream before, and I got something... What was it, like... I swear I got like 110 words a minute. Something like that. I did a typing test on stream once. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with rolling to have 4 transfers, Adam, if your team's in good shape. No problem with that. Akshat says, Jota/Eze to Bumo, tuning in from Mumbai. Jota/Eze to Bumo. Yeah, if there's a leak that Jota doesn't start, then that one's really obvious. I wouldn't sell Eze. If there's a leak that Jota does start, then I would leave it and do that move in game week 6 instead. But I wouldn't make the move if we know that he starts. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, I've got a feeling one of Diaz or Jota might not start, but we'll have to see. I might be wrong. Just feel like slots due some rotation in the league, based on what he's been saying about Gakpo and Darwin. I think it'll be Gakpo for anyone that comes in. It's a good move, but I think you can afford to do it in game week 6 if Jota starts, basically. 36% pizza, 28% Indian, 22% Chinese, 15% other. There we go. So, pizza 1. Is DCL okay to start? Yeah, he's okay. He was back in training, so it looks like he'll be fine. Good to go. Got used to the tattoo yet? I'm actually starting to get used to it, yeah. The first day, or like as I was walking out of the tattoo parlour, I was like, what have I done? What the hell have I just done? And sometimes I see it and I forget it's there, but I'm getting used to it. My girlfriend quite likes it, so... I don't think she liked it initially when I sent a photo, but... It looks alright in real life. On photos, it looks a bit bigger. Any Allison news? I did message a couple of in the knows. Let me check what they say. He reckons Kelleher will be starting. Let me check the other one. Allison's likely to be out. Well, they seem to think that Allison won't start. I feel like we might get confirmation nearer the deadline, but we might not. But I asked a couple of in the knows, and they've seemed to think that Allison won't be starting. But they're not like 100%, so I'm not going to put it in the bottom left corner. But I think that's pretty damning, if I'm honest. That 2 of them have a feeling that he won't start. 2-week Allison replacement. Who's got the best 2-week fixtures? Maybe Martinez. Wolves home, Ipswich away. Who else? Let's check the ticker. I don't know if I'd go Chelsea. West Ham away, Brighton home. If you're mental, you could go for Pickford. Anyone brave enough to go for Pickford? Yeah, I'd say probably Martinez from Villa. Or Sells from Forest, who's got Brighton away, Fulham home. I'd say those are the 2-week replacements. Longer term, Raya's the best replacement. Even though he's got Man City this week. Long term, he should, in theory, outscore others. Like, I think some people are going to be put off by Man City this week, but like when you buy a keeper, it's long term. So if he had Man City away 4 weeks from now, it's the same thing, just in a different order. Sam says he's going Raya. Wait till nearer the deadline, though. We've got like an hour or so till deadline, so we might get something more reliable. But if there's nothing else, I think that's pretty damning. That 2 in the nose. I think he's probably not going to start. Where to go if Jota is leaked that he's benched? I'd say Bumo. Bumo's probably the top replacement for me. Right now. It has to be Bumo. Takes set pieces, takes penalties. He's their talisman now. good fixtures, like even against Spurs. That's not a bad fixture, is it? For an attacker. They don't keep many clean sheets, Spurs. I mean, you're going to want to have Saka if you haven't got him, but it's not a great entry point this week. Areola or Flecken? I'd say Flecken. They're both pretty close long term. Like West Ham's fixtures are starting to turn, but I'd say Flecken. Vishal says, found you on Reddit. Shout out to Reddit. I'm a massive Reddit fan. I've used it for like 10 years. Fun fact, I actually moderate on Reddit as well. And I've moderated for like the last 10 years on the FPL subreddit. Those of you that are Reddit regulars, you might not know this, but I'm the one that's behind the daily Rate My Team threads. The entire subreddit theme I designed myself. I did the thanks bot. Some other touches. The captain polls, that was all me. For like 10 years I've moderated there. Like way before I ever did FPL content. Yeah, I love Reddit. What did you study at uni? I did computing. I got a Bachelor of Science degree in computing. But yeah, I haven't actually told anyone that about Reddit. British is a Redditor as well. Yeah, shout out to Reddit. Reddit or Twitter, which is better? Twitter's a weird one. Like, there's so many good, useful accounts to follow on Twitter, but like the homepage, the For You page, is just garbage now. Like you're scrolling through an FPL tweet, and then it'll be like, oh, here's some guy pushing an old lady into a swimming pool, and then it's like, what? Why am I watching that? You prefer Reddit, Twitter? And obviously there's threads as well. I do post on there as well. My username's the same on everything. FPL Focal. True Mudkip says, bench Rodgers or Eze. He wildcarded for his sanity. Rodgers or Eze? I feel like you have to start Eze. They're pretty close, but I'd prefer Eze home to Man United. Yeah, gotta be Eze. Even though it looks like he might not be on penalties. I did see a clip of that incident though, and Eze really wanted to take the penalty. He really wanted to take it. It wasn't like Mateta just grabbed the ball and that was it. Eze was like, this is mine, and Mateta was like, no, this is mine. So maybe like there's still going to be the odd penalty here and there that Eze takes. It might just be like who's in form, who's filling it on the day. That's at least what Glasner said. He said we've got two takers and he leaves it up to them between them. We'll have to see if that's how it plays out, but not all hope is lost. But yeah, Eze over Rodgers. Adam says, I've got Pickford as my goalkeeper. Trent Consaporo in defence. He's got Ahmad Bruno, Eze, Rodgers, Saka midfield, Haaland and Pedro as his strikers in his starting 11. So this is in reference to the other question. Let me find it again. Should I swap Ahmad Hudson-Odoi? Was it that one? Bumo for Bruno. Yeah, I would... no, I'd leave it, Adam, and I'd buy Bumo in Game Week 6. I think Bruno to Bumo is a bit sideways this week, personally. I feel like there's similar picks this week. Bruno away at Palace, Bumo away at Spurs. So, yeah, you got a nice team. I'd delay that one a week. Homesonic, thanks for the 5 months. He says, hi, Focal, how you doing today? Hope you're good. I'm well, thank you, yeah. It's always good to have FPL back. Saturdays are always exciting. Always the anticipation of having a good game week. Rarely plays out that way. High hopes for the game week, but yeah, I'm well. I'm well, thanks for asking. Is Alisson fit? Any updates? Well, he's got this groin problem. And I asked a couple of in the nose, and they seem to think Kelleher's going to play. That was their feeling. So I think there's a good chance he won't play, but we'll hopefully get something more reliable near the deadline. But I think it's pretty damning that they've said that. Is the Focal app down? Shouldn't be. Where are you connecting from, Paul? Let me try. No, it's working for me. I'm on it. FPL Focal in the App Store if anyone's not got it. It's a free app. Loads of FPL tools and goodies in there. Jurgen Klopp says, who to bench out of Rico, Lewis or Dunk? I've got Edison in goal as well if that matters. And then who first on the bench out of them or Minte? So I'd bench Lewis. I'd definitely start Dunk. Regardless of having Edison or not, I'd start Dunk over Lewis personally. Who first on the bench, them or Minte? I'd actually have Minte ahead of Lewis on the bench as well. Bradley says, sell João Pedro to Vardy or Isak to Vardy / Calvert-Lewin. I'll have to start the transfer in and either João or Isak, as I've got Muniz as well. Why don't you just go Muniz to Calvert-Lewin? Muniz is much more of a sell than João Pedro. Because Muniz won't start. I'm almost certain of that. Jimenez probably starts again. João Pedro, I think he'll start or not be in the squad at all. So I'd prioritise selling Muniz and go Muniz to Calvert-Lewin. I think that makes the most sense. Janega says bench one out of Havertz, João Pedro and Semenyo. No Alisson. Havertz, Pedro, Semenyo. I'd bench Semenyo, I think, out of those three. First on bench, just in case Pedro doesn't play. Captain of no Salah. These are the projections this week. I think it's after Salah, it's Son. Yeah, Son on 6.3, then Palmer. I think I'd like Palmer a bit more than Son, to be honest. So Palmer, Son, a good have. I mean, you could still go for Haaland. Some people are going Watkins. Is he flagged or something? Because I'm surprised he's not on the table here. When players are flagged, it does like a 0.75 multiplier on their projected points. I don't know if he's flagged. Emery said that Watkins is fine though, because he came off early in the Champions League, but he said he's okay. Right, guesses in the chat. Who's going to be the top scorer of the game week? Get your guesses in. It was Sanchez in game week 4. I don't know if anyone got Sanchez. 15 points for Sanchez, which was the biggest score. It kind of sums up last game week, doesn't it? It was such a swingy game week that keeper ended up being the top scorer. Big Dom, Salah, Lewis. You reckon Midnight Mule? Surely not. Watkins, Trent, Sancho. Yeah, Watkins should be fine. Emery said he's fine. Salah, Duran, Barnes. Palmer hat-trick. You know what? That would be such a spanner in the works, I think. If he gets a hat-trick, I'm probably buying him instead of Havertz next game week. Still Haaland. The old reliable Haaland. Isak top scorer. That would be classic FPL, Dan, if it's Isak. Eze. Anthony Gordon. Colin says, whoever I don't have. That's always the way. Porro. Madueke hat-trick again. Imagine that. Toffolo. Good old Toffolo. What a guy. Got to go with my man Quansah from the bench. Oh, don't. If Quansah is the top scorer of the game, it's second on my bench, I'll cry. Omar says, hi Focal, would you start Rodgers or Smith Rowe? You guys aren't going to like this answer, but I would start Rodgers over Smith Rowe. And I know that's going to be an unpopular take, and some of you do not like Rodgers because he's yet to return. But like, if you watch Villa, he's so good. He's so involved. He's come so close to points so many times. Like, Watkins has missed a couple of big chances that Rodgers has set up. So what can he do about that? But yeah, I love British's confidence. He says Rodgers will finally come good today. I hope so. But yeah, I think I would start Rodgers over Smith Rowe, honestly. He completely passes the eye test. So where are those Rodgers points? But what can he do? Like, he set up like 2 big chances for Watkins, and Watkins missed them. What more can Rodgers do if his teammates are letting him down? So, and also what people forget is he's what, 5.1 mil? So I've got a much higher tolerance for blanks on a player that's 5 mil. Like if Saka or Eze or these guys were blanking every week, then I'd be prioritised selling them. But he's 5.1 mil. He gives you so much budget to work with the rest of your team that I don't mind it. But on top of that, he does look great. So I think I'll have him for a long time. Alisson outmakes Salah captain, less nailed on. No, it won't affect Salah captain. Shouldn't have any effect really. Why did you sell Fernandes? I sold Fernandes for Salah, which I think was a perfectly reasonable move, but I actually lost a couple of points on that. Because I went, what was it? Salah, I went Bruno and, what did I do? Isaac and Bruno. Yeah, that was it. Isaac and Bruno to João Pedro and Salah. Because I wanted to have Salah last game week for Forest home, which obviously he went on to blank. But it was also for this week to captain him. So that was why I sold Bruno. Paredes says he owns Isaac, Muniz and Haaland. Needs to start 3 strikers, 1.3 on the bank. What would you do? Muniz to João Pedro, Isaac to Watkins or other. Give me your focal point. I'd prioritise Muniz. We got one. I'm guessing you got one free transfer. I'd sell Muniz. I don't think you can afford Solanke, can you? No. I'd go Muniz to Calvert-Lewin. It's just really hard to say whether Isaac starts or not, because we don't get honest answers from Hal. Like, I think there is potential in taking a -4 to go Isaac to Watkins and Muniz to Calvert-Lewin. But obviously there's potential for Isaac to start, but Newcastle just don't look up to it so far this season. They don't look near their best, so I'd be really tempted to take that -4 if you have to start 3 strikers. Like, I'm guessing what you basically mean is you need all 3 to play. You can't afford your bench to come on. So I feel like that's probably worth a -4. Isaac to Watkins, Muniz to Calvert-Lewin. I wouldn't buy João Pedro. So yeah, I hope that helps. Nova says, would you pick Henderson or Fabianski this week? Hall or Gabriel? Is Vardy playing? Sell Isaac to Watkins. Also have João Pedro and Haaland, 2 free transfers. So Henderson or Fabianski? Well, Ariel is going to play, isn't he? Who have West Ham got? Let me check that. So West Ham have got the home to Chelsea. No, I'll just play Henderson. Hall or Gabriel? That's a 50-50 as well, to be fair. I'd probably play Gabriel, because you know he's going to start, whereas Hall we just don't know. He's in and out of the team. Is Vardy playing? Vardy will definitely play. So Isaac to Watkins. Yeah, I'd do that if I could do it for free. João Pedro, I'll just leave him in. I think he'll probably start, if I had to guess. So yeah, Isaac to Watkins. Do you play FPL Challenge? I do, yeah. I do. I have been entering a team every week. I've not really been paying much attention to it, to be honest. Does anyone else play it? Alright, we're going to stick a new poll up. How many chips have you used? Get your votes in. You sold Watkins for Duran? Are you serious? Why have you done that? Edzo, thanks for becoming a Focal member as well. Appreciate that. Yeah, I've been entering a team on challenge, but no chips used. 98k. Fair play, Michael. Smashing it. Did Watkins go up last night? Yeah, Watkins went up. Trent went up. Haaland went up. João Pedro went up. Bruno went down again. Munoz went down. I think Salah's going up tonight. So if I sell him in Game Week 6, I'll get the 0.1 mil banked on that. No chips used, 150k. 0 chips, 72k. Damn. Where's everyone ranked right now? Let us know in chat. Who's got the best rank? Aino went up, weird that he went down at all. Yeah, I don't understand why he went down, to be honest with you. I wish I would just make price changes public or transparent. Like they need to have a widget on the website that shows who's going up, who's going down. Do you guys think they manipulate price changes? Or is that a conspiracy? Like, it's just such a random, chaotic element of FPL, the price changes. And you're forced to use, like, third-party sites. I don't know why they don't just have it on the site. Maybe they like to have some control over price changes, but even then, they could just say they're going up or going down tonight and still control it. Edzo, thanks for the gifted membership. Bolt1993 got that one, 1993. You reckon they manipulate the changes? 2 chips used, 6.3k, 1.8 mil, 11k, nice, 2.7k or 2.7 mil? 1.7 mil, 120k, 30k, 3 mil, top 6k. Yeah, you should be the ones doing these streams there, not me. British wants a gift. Oh yeah, let me gift some memberships. Let's do that. You have to type in chat to get a membership, so make sure you send a message in chat as I'm about to gift these. How do I do it? Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1. 5 memberships dropping now. Who got one? Connor got one. Who else got one? Mike got one. Jan got one. Didn't see who got the rest. Did the others get? Who got them? I didn't see who got the rest. I felt like I only saw 3 names there. But anyway, well done if you got one. If you want access to the members channel on Discord, go in Discord settings and log into your YouTube account. And you'll see the members channel automatically once you log in. Price changes are scammy. I'll do another 5 gifted on the next deadline stream. So make sure you subscribe for that. Thanks, Oscar, but stop butchering my name. Is it not Jan? How do you say it? Sorry. J-A-N-N-E. How do you say it? I always thought it was Jan. Janny. Tell me how it's pronounced. Start 2. João Pedro, Smith Rowe, Rogers. I'd start João Pedro and Rogers. Oh, is it Jan? With a soft J. Sorry, Jan. Okay. You're on 101.7 mil team value. What the hell? How have you got that much team value already? Mine's, what, 100.6? Yeah, I haven't even got 101 mil yet. KDB starting or not? We don't know 100%. Pep didn't really give much away. He said he doesn't know yet whether KDB is fit enough to start against Arsenal on Sunday. Came off at half-time against Inter in the Champions League with a reported groin injury. Connor's got 101 mil team value. FPL team value mode. No early team news at the moment. Just checking in the background. Dan, thanks for becoming a member. Thanks very much, Dan. Appreciate your support. Right, sorry. Discreet said wildcard in Gameweek 6. He says, does he do Henderson to Sells, or Concert to Robinson, Rogers to Winks, Madueke to Saka, Isak to Calvert-Lewin, Salah, Haaland and Trent in the squad? So are you talking about 1 week move before wildcard next week? I wouldn't sell Concert. don't think any of those moves are worth it. Madueke to Saka. The only one I'd consider there is Isak to Calvert-Lewin. The rest just don't feel exciting enough. Like Madueke to Saka, just don't see it this week. The only one I consider is Isak to Calvert-Lewin, but we just don't know if Isak's going to start. That's the problem. Howell's not told us. I mean, maybe it is a late fitness test. Maybe they already know he's out. Maybe they already know he starts. Out of all of those, I'd do Isak to Calvert-Lewin. Mohammed says, can you give us a quick free hit team? Keep up the stream. Free hit team. Let's give it a go. So who would I have on a free hit? Calvert-Lewin. In goal? Who would I have in goal? I'd probably go double Liverpool defence, I think. I'd have Son. I think I'd have Son and Salah. Who else would I have? Maybe on a free hit you don't go Haaland. That could be quite good. Because then you could have Son, Palmer, Salah. And then you could go 2 budget forwards, you know, like that. Don't know if this is in budget. Yeah, it is. Something like that. Goalkeeper, maybe for Bruggen. That's got 1.4 mil on the bank. So what is that? 352. Trent, Robbo, Porro, Palmer, Son, Rogers, Eze, Salah, Calvert-Lewin, Vardy. Yeah, I think I'd go with that. You could have Bruno over Eze. Maybe just go Welbeck just for a more likely. Something like that. I feel like on a free hit, I wouldn't go Haaland. Chase the upside. If I was on a free hit, something like that. DCL going to start despite being yellow. Yeah, he was in training, so he's expected to be fine. So how many chips have he used? 59% none, 32% 1, 8% 2, 2% 3. Start Aina or Robinson? I'd start Aina. Let's have a look at the goal scorers this week. It's actually interesting because Salah and Haaland are basically even. But obviously Salah gets the extra point per goal and he's got the clean sheet potential. So for me, Salah's the best captain, but Haaland's still solid, as the projected goals suggest. 0.69 goals, Salah's a 0.68. Watkins is third. Isak, assuming he starts. Son, Solanke, João Pedro, assuming he starts. Jota, assuming he starts. Palmer, Calvert-Lewin. Graphic from Rob T FPL. Geeky Cypriot says, love the stream. Jota and Semenyo for Boomo and Smith Rowe. I like Jota to Boomo, but I don't know if I'd do it this week unless there's a leak Jota doesn't start. Semenyo I'd keep. Are you saying you're going to sell Josh and Semenyo? I'd keep Semenyo. I think he's taken the joint most shots in the league this season. Obviously it's not a great fixture this week, but game week 6 they've got Southampton home. Game week 7 they've got Leicester away. I feel like he's not a sell, Semenyo. And Smith Rowe's not a buy either. Like, I'm looking to move Smith Rowe on potentially. Game week 6. I like Jota to Boomo, but I wouldn't sell Semenyo. Any news on Alisson? Yeah, a couple of Liverpool in the nose seem to think he's not going to play today. I haven't got it 100%, but it's my best guess based on what they've said. It looks like it's going to be Kelleher in goal today. It's not 100%, so just do what you will with that information, but I think there's a good chance he doesn't play today, in my opinion. So if I had him, I think I'd reluctantly have to sell. And I'd probably buy Raya if I was selling him, even though he's got bad fixture this week. But wait till near the deadline, just in case we get something concrete, which there's every chance we will. And I'll keep checking in the background in case we get any leaks, because we're bound to get something near the deadline. I mean, the other ones, in terms of Liverpool, are Jota and Diaz. Background music is Harris Heller, Brian. I don't think Saka's getting anything. I'd be surprised as well, but I have to start him. I mean, Konsa probably keep a clean sheet now and Saka blanks, but I feel like I have to start Saka over Konsa. Do you not think? Saka, you just start him every week. Ahmed says Henderson, Trent, Robinson, Vardy, Jota, Smith Rowe, Saka, Mitoma, Haaland, Watkins, Vardy. Who do you captain, Watkins or Haaland? And what do you think of the squad? I'd go Watkins over Haaland. So, Haaland Vice. Good team. Yeah, it's a strong team. As I was saying, keep an eye up near the deadline in case there's any news on Jota and whether he doesn't start. Because he could be a sell. But other than that, it's a great team. Obviously, Henderson is a bit of a painful pick as well. Like, I might get rid of him next game week. Heike News says, sell Gibbs White or Savinho for Rodgers or just roll. I think Gibbs White, you just keep him. Personally. I've been more tempted to sell Savinho. But is there anyone else? Like, because you could get Semenyo next week, who looks even better. Or, you know, do you have Bumo, for example? He's a priority from Game Week 6, in my opinion. So I don't want to say do it and you block yourself from doing better moves next week. So, depends on that. Savinho to Rodgers I like, but it depends if you've got Bumo or not, and if you've got a route to him. Would Duran be totally insane? Yeah, I'm just not sure we're going to start. Like I've been saying in my videos, this season I'm trying to pick players that are good for minutes, rather than these risky minutes picks, and that was why I went with like Bruno over Jota. And to be fair, that one didn't work out, but there's a lot of players. There's a lot of examples where it has worked out. So for me, I'm not going with the minutes risks players. So I'm not even thinking about Duran at all. There's probably like 7 forwards I'd rather have over Duran. Calvert-Lewin's my favourite, the budget forwards. If you're looking for a cheap replacement for Isak. Will Foden start this week? I think he's got a good chance of starting. Assuming that De Bruyne's out. I think he probably does start, yeah. Any Pedro news? So, this is what Herzler said. Herzler confirmed João Pedro will work with the group today after missing the last 2 matches. We have to see how it's going. If he can train fully, and if he can do all the movements, of course, we won't take any risks, but he will be part of the training today. And he was seen in training. So he's got a good chance of being involved. But that's all we know. Lucas says, Isak to Watkins and Cap, does he play 90? Yeah, I think if you can do Isak to Watkins, I would do it. I would do that move. Does he play 90? I think last week he played 80 plus, didn't he? He might not play 90, but I think it's a move worth making. Isak to Watkins. If you can do it, I would definitely do that. No one picking Rashford. I think he's not showing enough form is one thing. The other thing is we don't know he's 100% nailed. Like he could go with Garnacho left wing, Ahmad right wing. That's possible. It does look like he's trying to play Rashford into form though. Maybe it'll work, but he's just not nailed. That's the problem. And when he starts, he can come off early. Saka to Palmer or Son, your wildcard in Gameweek 6. They're really close this week. I'd say Palmer just about. Just about Palmer. Leighton and Justine says, big up my guy Oscar. He's going to captain Palmer. Palmer again. Ole ole, he says. Good luck with the Palmer captaincy. Start Lewis or Conser? Conser. Captain Son or Watkins? Watkins. Has there been a captain poll? Yeah, we did one much earlier. We'll stick another one up. Who is your captain for Gameweek 5? So we'll go Haaland, Salah, Watkins. And if you go other, message your other in chat. Poll is up. Salah, of course. I mean, if you've got Salah, I think it's... yeah, he's the obvious one. Well, day 84 of calling Focal Smexy Geezer. Thanks very much, Will. Appreciate the support. Trent. Yeah, Trent's an interesting one. If Alisson does miss out, which seems like there's a good chance, then that does reduce his appeal a bit. Like, I remember last season they weren't keeping clean sheets nearly as often when Alisson was out. Sonny. Yeah, Son's a decent shout. Trent captain, no Salah. Conser or Digne in a wild card. I don't know if I'll ever go back to Digne. He's caused me so much pain over the years. Like, he's playing well, but does Maatsen come in at some point? I feel like if I just brought in Digne, the next game week, Maatsen starts in left back. Might not happen. Personally, I'd say Conser. Solanke captain. Yugdeep, thanks for the super chat. It says, start Havertz or João Pedro. I think I'd say João Pedro. That one's quite close. I'd say João Pedro over Havertz. How we doing, Levi? $150k in Game Week 1 and you're 4.8 mil now. That's brutal, Daniel. Hopefully you can bounce back this week. It's still early in the season, that's the thing. Like, the ranks are super condensed. Let me grab the thing on Live FPL. They do a really nice thing on Live FPL that shows the table of how the ranks are condensed. Check this out. So check how many points you're on right now and compare yourself to this. So those are the current ranks and the points needed. So this column here in the middle, points post auto subs. So for example, I'm 12 points behind 1 million. I'm what is that, 22 from 500k. So the ranks are like super condensed right now. If you're 100k right now, you're only 6 points behind 50k, for example. If you're 4 million, you're 10 points behind 3 million. So the ranks are like really condensed still at the moment. You can have some massive swings over the space of 1 week. Oops, I just opened WhatsApp. Hopefully you can't see that. Leak my WhatsApp. Bella is 2 points off 10k. Fair play. How are we doing, Abisha? Welcome to the stream. Does Madueke start this week? My best guess is he does, yeah. But probably comes off early. Is McNeil a money-saving option? Yeah, he's definitely a good option. I like the McNeil pick. And he's cheap enough, like, so you can be more tolerant of blanks. Similar to Rodgers, really. Like, I'm not that arsed about the Rodgers blanks. He's only 5.1 mil. I'm good, Starboy. How you doing, mate? Maxwell says, I've gone real balls to the wall and sold Haaland to finance Salah and Watkins based off his last 2 blanks against Arsenal. Love the channel and come on you Gunners. Come on you Gunners. Big game. I actually don't mind that move. Like, if I was selling Haaland, the circumstance where I would consider that is if I was selling for Watkins and buying Salah to captain Salah. So I actually like those pair of moves. But as you say, like, you've got to have some balls to sell Haaland. after 9 goals in 4 games. I hope it comes off for you, even though I've got Haaland myself. Monk says he's wildcarding in Gameweek 6. He's got 3 free transfers. Haaland, Saka and Smith Rowe to Watkins, Salah and Son. This one's similar to above, but like even more so. The only thing is, so if you're wildcarding in Gameweek 6, having an extra free roll transfer or two is going to be so powerful. Can you afford Haaland and Saka to Watkins and Salah? I'd be tempted to do that and not the Son move, but I do get it. Like, Smith Rowe to Son is such a huge upgrade, but I don't know if I'd do it for 1 week. It's really close. Like, I like the Watkins and Salah, as I was saying to Maxwell's one. But is Smith Rowe to Son worth spending a valuable free transfer for 1 week when we're now able to roll them? Hang on. So you'd have 1 free transfer left, so you carry it over. Yeah, so you do it, don't you? Is that right? Yeah, so if you've got 3 free transfers and you spend 2, you'd have 1 left and you carry 1 over. Yeah, so you have to spend it, don't you? There's no reason not to. Is that right? Yeah, there's no reason not to spend an extra free transfer, is there, when you've got 1 left? So, yeah, you do all 3. Have I lost the plot? That is right, isn't it? Like, you can make the case for keeping them when you've got 2 or more. But if you've got 1 left, then you may as well spend it, because you'll have 1 either way, the other side of the wild card. So yeah, do all 3 moves. That is right, isn't it? Yeah. It's only when you've got 2 or more that they carry over. So if you have 2 free transfers and you spend 1, there's no reason not to spend the other transfer. Because it doesn't roll over as a second, you only get 1 anyway. I thought you roll 5. You'd roll whatever you had before the wildcard. So like next week, I'll have 2 free transfers. If I wildcard, then I'll have 2 the other side. If you wildcard, if you have 1 free transfer and you wildcard, you have 1 after, don't you? You don't come out of your wildcard with 2 free transfers. Can anyone confirm that? That's wildcarded. Matt says that's correct. I know they don't reset, but what I'm saying is you get what you had before the wildcard. So if you have 1 free transfer and you wildcard, then you'd have 1 afterwards. So therefore, if you've got 3 free transfers, what I'm saying basically to answer his question, he's looking at buying Watkins and Salah with 2 or 3 free transfers, but he can go Smith Rowe to Son with his 3rd free transfer. And there's no reason not to make that move, because he'd already have 1. He'd have 1 the other side of the wildcard. That is right, yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's the long answer. Sure. You'd have 2. What? Can someone confirm? I'm pretty sure that's right. Lugia says I can confirm. Yeah, you just carry over what you had. So yeah, make all 3 moves. Manprit says start João Pedro or Rodgers. I'll start João Pedro. I think he'll start or not be in the squad. He's on pens, so I'd give it to him just about. Abdul Jalil, thanks for becoming a member as well. Thanks very much. Appreciate all the support. Yeah, you'd only have 1, so yeah, you make all 3. Say free transfers carried over. So really, there's no point. If you've got 1 free transfer before a wildcard, you might as well take a 1-week punt on someone. It's only worth considering not spending it when you've got 2, because you can carry 2 over. Because like if you had no free transfers and you wildcarded, you wouldn't have the other side of it. No transfers, would you? You'd have 1. So yeah, that makes sense. You wouldn't have 0 afterwards. You would not get the next game week and you've got no free transfers to make a move. Any chance we get Newcastle or Liverpool leagues? I think Liverpool there's a good chance. Newcastle probably not so much. There's quite a few Newcastle accounts that have been consistently wrong, so I just don't tend to trust any early Newcastle news, to be honest, unless a really reliable account comes out with something. Liverpool there's a good chance though. We've got what, half an hour till deadline, so anything that we hear I'll update in the bottom left corner, starts or benched. I asked a couple of in the know accounts and they seem to think that Alisson won't start. If we don't get anything near the deadline, then that's probably the best information we'll get. Not 100%, but it seems like there's a good chance Kelleher's in goal. Let's have a look at who's the most bought player this week. Oh, it's Watkins. Let's update the numbers. 600,000 transfers in, so a lot of people selling Isak, I guess. Vardy second. Luis Diaz. Haaland. Haaland's 15-3. Holy. Welbeck, Aina, Smith Rowe, Duran. Duran's got 243,000 transfers in. That's wild. I'm not even sure if he'll start. Sanchez, Bumo, Calvert-Lewin, Salah, McNeil, Anana. Digne, Palmer. What about transfers out? Wow, 1 million transfers out for Isak. João Pedro second. Visser. Vardy, De Bruyne, Saka, Eze, Muniz. Seems mad, doesn't it? Everyone's selling Saka and he's still yet to blank. And he's assisted every Arsenal goal this season, except the one he scored himself. Muniz, that makes sense. Ødegaard, obviously. Havertz, Jota, Alisson. A lot of people selling Alisson. Fordy says, who's a good Jota replacement of 1.7 mil in the bank? So how much is Jota? 7.5 or thereabouts. So what would you have? 9.2. I'd say Bumo long term, to be honest with you, if you haven't got him. Say Aina, Smith Rowe again. Did I say it weird? What am I missing? Aina, Smith Rowe. I don't get it. I think Bumo is probably the best Jota replacement if there's a league he doesn't start. Otherwise, you've got to give him the Bournemouth game, haven't you? If you start him. I don't get it. Am I saying something I'm not hearing? Don't know. I'm oblivious. Any news for Isak? Oh. Okay. Oh dear. Lazy FPL, appreciate all the new follows, but we'll be honest, we probably won't get any early team news this week. That's not great. Let me ask about Diaz and Jota. Views on Armstrong. I think he's got to be a sell. I would not be keeping Armstrong now. I know he's got like a good fixture, but bench last week, I'd sell. I think Calvert-Lewin and Vardy are the best budget forwards right now. I like Calvert-Lewin slightly more than Vardy. Dale says, come on everyone, smash the likes. Yeah, if you guys have enjoyed the stream so far, then do hit like on it. Appreciate your support. My stream count, my like counter never goes up on mine. I'm hoping that we're not on 9 likes, but maybe we are. Obviously, if you don't like the stream, you can dislike it as well. That's okay. Who's Teddy captaining? Teddy's captaining Eze this week. He's proper gone rogue. Wacker says 2 free transfers. He's got 0.4 mil on the bank. He's got Isaac, João Pedro and Wood. Recommendations. So you're 0.1 mil short of Watkins, are you? Or 0.2 mil now? That's so annoying. It depends who's on your bench, Wacker, if Isaac doesn't play. I think ultimately that's what it boils down to for Isaac owners. Like, if you've got a decent auto sub, then keep him. If you don't, then sell him. Watkins is obviously by far the best replacement, but you need like 0.5, 0.6 mil. You could go Solanke. I think I'd go Isaac to Solanke, Wacker. But just check whether that extra money would go towards something important next week. Like if you went Isaac to, I don't know, Calvert-Lewin, and you don't have Saka, for example. If that gives you the money to buy Saka, then that's a better move. If you're already like set up well in the rest of your team, then I'd go Solanke. Jay says, morning, bud. Should I take a -4 to replace Vardy with Robertson and start 2 of Ahmad, Smith-Rowe and Rogers? Thanks, pal. I'll start Rogers, and then it's Ahmad or Smith-Rowe. I'll start Smith-Rowe and Rogers. Vardy to Robertson, not for a -4. I'd consider it for 3J, but not for a -4. What's your plans with Canham? One option is, in Game Week 6, I can go Salah to Bumo, and that gives me enough money to sell Cannon to Havertz. And then I could bench Smith-Rowe away at Forest, probably. Or bench João Pedro away at Chelsea, one of those two. So that gives me 8 attackers in Game Week 6. So I've not made a move this week. I'm going to roll the transfer. Havertz out to DCL. I wouldn't sell Havertz. You're going to just want him straight back in Game Week 6. I know Calvert-Lewin's got the better fixture, but Game Week 6 onwards, you want Havertz. Like, I'm looking to buy Havertz in Game Week 6 potentially. Don't think we're going to get anything concrete from my guy on Diaz and Jota, but I'm going to keep an eye out. Alisson's the one I'm not sure if he's going to be involved. I think it could be Kelleher. You're on wildcard 6. Do I keep Alisson and roll or sell? It's really tricky. If I had Alisson and no backup keeper, I think I probably would move him out for 1 week. So in terms of the clean sheet odds, let's pull those up. After Liverpool, it's City, then Brighton. I don't know if I'd buy Edison though. I'd buy either Bruggen or Martinez. Probably for Bruggen. But we're kind of piecing it together with limited info, but that's what I think I would do if I was in that situation with Alisson. But we might get something more concrete near the deadline, but it seems like there's a chance he won't play. I just don't want to give the wrong advice. It's like really hard when you've got limited information. And the same applies to like Isaac and João Pedro. We literally don't know. We haven't had concrete answers from Hal or Herzler this week. It's just like late fitness tests. Sun captain? Yeah, I mean, I think he's second on the projected points this week, but he has been playing a bit wide, so I'm not sure. If I had Palmer, I'd rather Palmer. Or Watkins. I prefer Watkins. I think he's not here because of the flag. Because he was flagged. Only Modi says, Cannon to Welbeck for a 1 week punt before a wild card. For a 1 week punt, I prefer Calvert-Lewin. Cannon to Calvert-Lewin, if you can afford that. I'd say, in terms of the budget forwards, Calvert-Lewin, and then Vardy, and then Welbeck in that order. Brian says, quality live, mate. Start João Pedro or Rico Lewis. Thanks, Brian. I'd start João Pedro over Rico Lewis. My best guess of João Pedro is he'll start or not be in the squad. So, either way, like if he doesn't start, then you'll get Lewis auto-subbing off your bench. Slow Sports is a troll account. I hope you realise, JC, and others that read that. When's the best time to triple captain? Well, I've always used it in double game weeks, but obviously this season it's a weird one because for the first time the schedule's different. We're going to have 2 double game weeks, whereas normally we've had more. So there's 2 double game weeks, but then we've got the triple captain, the bench boost, the free hit, and the mystery chip. So that's like 4 chips in 2 weeks. So like, when do you use them? Obviously you can use the free hit and a blank, but that, as we saw last season, that can go horribly wrong because you're free hitting in players that are just lower ceiling. So people have been using it in the single game weeks, which has, to be fair, gone great. Like, fair play, those of you that triple captain Haaland, game week 2 or 3. Like, what is that, 41 points? No, 51. Is that right? Yeah, 51 points? No, yeah, 51 from triple captain Haaland. So in terms of single game week opportunities, there's Fulham in game week 7. There's Southampton in game week 9, which I'd say is even better. Or you wait until much later in the season when we know what the mystery chip is, and they've got Leicester home in game week 30. Or then you just, or the other option is you wait for double game weeks. So I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. I might just save it till later in the season. Salah says buy Moreno or Greaves to fund Saka next week. Moreno's one of those, like, if he can lock down left back, he's going to be such a great pick. Maybe Aina is probably the better one. Until we know that for certain. I feel like Aina's got to be more nailed, hasn't he? Like, Moreno's going to be awesome if he does lock that spot down. They've got good fixtures. They're 3rd for expected goals conceded, so like Moreno does look great. I'd prefer one of those to Greaves. Like, Ipswich's fixtures aren't bad either, but I'd prefer Forest on the underlying numbers. So probably Aina for 4.5 mil. Start Aina or Gabriel's my 3rd defender. I'd go Aina. Oh my god, someone's got the username. Welcome back for another video. What a username. Welcome to the stream. Love it. Yeah, I can't see any leaks yet. I'll keep an eye out. Well, we've got 20 minutes till deadline. What to do with Bailey? I'd get rid of him. Sell Bailey. If you can afford Boomer, I'd say he's the best right now. He's by far the best mid-price midfielder, I would say. I think I'm going to tell you now, next week on FPL Twitter and YouTube, you're going to see everyone buying Boomo. I'm calling it now. You're going to see a lot of people buying Boomo. He's going to be the next bandwagon. And it's understandable, to be fair. Like, he's their talisman. He's on penalties, set pieces, corners. The only annoying thing is that Wissa injury. It's just a question mark how much that's going to affect them in attack. But we talked about Sharda earlier, who could be an interesting one for 5.4 mil as well. Just one, bought him weeks ago. Fair play, yeah. If you had him for Southampton, like, you smashed it. Deepak says bought Boomer for Game Week 3 for Southampton. Nice. Yeah, that's a good move. I didn't have the opportunity to go there. I wish I did. Palmer or Watkins captain? I think I'd go Watkins. It's quite a close one. I'd say Watkins and then Palmer vice if you haven't got Salah. So in terms of the captain poll, 66% Salah, 19% Haaland, 7% Watkins, 7% other. Rocket says, any news on Alisson? His backup keeper's Valdemarson. So I asked a couple of in the knows, and they seem to think he won't start, but weren't 100%. But if I had him, I think I'd act on that information. But I don't want to like drop you guys in it because like he could start. But if I had him, I think I would act on that information and sell him. I think we could see Kelleher come in today. But it's not 100%. But I think it's... If I was going to put a percentage on it, I'd say 75% it doesn't start. So if I had him, I think I would act on that info. As annoying as it is. I wouldn't sell Alisson to Raya for a hit will. Because you need Raya to keep a clean sheet or you've lost points. Otherwise, you might as well just do that move in game week 6 for free, right? Or if Alisson's back, you don't bring him in. NASA says Captain Haaland or Palmer and why? So I'll pull up the projections again. It's super close this week. I think if I had Haaland and Palmer but not Salah, I'd go Palmer. Because last season, Arsenal didn't concede to City at all. They kept Haaland quiet. No goals from City across either game. And even kept a clean sheet at the Etihad last season. Whereas Palmer, I feel like he's way likely to get something this week than Haaland against Arsenal. Like, the Arsenal defence is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. By far the best defence in the league. FPL Juice, their poll has Salah at 84%. Yeah, I think ours was similar to that. So it sounds mad, like Haaland's got, what, 9 goals in 4 games, but I just think Palmer's likelier to get you something than Haaland this week. Don't get me wrong, after this week, I'll probably have Haaland permanent captain. It's just this week in isolation, it's a bit of a headache, because City are playing the best defence in the league. So I think it's a week where you can bet against Haaland, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going Salah. But if I didn't have Salah, I'd still probably bet against him if I had someone like Palmer or Watkins. And then you just go back to the safety blanket of Haaland permanent captain. That'll be interesting as well, actually. Whether people go for Saka against Leicester or Haaland away at Newcastle. Marcus says start Isak and João Pedro and sit Rodgers and Semenyo. Yeah, I'd start both of them. Rodgers ahead of Semenyo on your bench, Marcus. Yeah, I think that makes sense. If either of them don't play, then Rodgers comes on. My gut feeling is they'll start or won't be in the squad. I think João Pedro's likely to start than Isak, but they've both got a good chance. Like, it's not out of the question that they're on the bench and come on, but I think in terms of what the likeliest outcomes are, starting or not being in the squad combined are the likeliest outcomes than being on the bench and coming on. So Rodgers is a good first bench, and then Semenyo. John Donut says Semenyo to Rodgers for a -4. I've transferred out Isak, Jota and Salah. And Delap with my free transfers. Nah, not for a -4. Like, Semenyo game week 6 and 7's got 2 really good fixtures back to back. So I would be selling him. Just keep him. Just ride it out. I know it's a bad fixture this week, but I'd keep Semenyo. Try and pull up my scout table that's got some data on Semenyo and just how involved he's been. So check this out. Don't know how much of this you can see. So this is my table that's all the positions. Look, I've sorted it by shots there. Haaland 20 shots, Semenyo 20 shots. So I think Semenyo is absolutely a keep. I know it's a bad fixture this week. You never know, like if Alisson is out, which seems like there's a good chance, he could get something as well, even this week. What's this account? Charter Starts. I don't know that account. What's interesting is a reliable Liverpool in the No account has quoted in another account saying Jota starts. So I've never seen the user before. James Wathland, W-A-T-H Land. says Jota starts. But I've never heard of this account, so I can't vouch for them. Yeah, it could be a troll account. But what's interesting is SMX LFC is the reliable Liverpool account, and they've quoted it, saying they need a big performance from Jota. So what? Yeah, is it going to be Diaz or Gakpo left wing? We've got 50 minutes till deadline, so let's see. And then Anfield Insights say that Trent starts. Joe D says Isak and Vardy to Watkins and Kanate for a hit. I won't buy Kanate for a hit. I'm just thinking if there's a better cheap defender to buy instead of him. I mean, Concer's got Wolves home, then Ipswich away. I wouldn't buy Kanate for a hit. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point Kwanzaa finally gets a start again. But it might not happen. I don't think I'd do that for a hit. It's such a close one because like Watkins could smash it. Isak might not be in the squad, but I wouldn't do it for a -4. Is there another defender I'm not thinking of though? If you want to do that, I'd probably buy someone like Konsa, who's got better fixtures and more nailed. I don't think I'd get Kanate for a hit. Fizzer says Isak and Saka to Calvert-Lewin/Vardy for free. Forces a wildcard in 6, or only use 1 free transfer. Mooney to DCL and have 2 next week. No Salah to load up on Boomer and Arsenal. So Saka to Salah's the other one. Yeah, I would do that. Isak to Calvert-Lewin, Saka to Salah for free. I would do that. It's worth it to get the Salah captaincy. Wazza says, I've got Isak, Pedro and Haaland. I took a hit last week for Salah and I've only got 0.1 in the bank. Should I roll the transfer or take a hit? Really confused. No, I'd leave it. The only thing I'd consider is selling one of those for Calvert-Lewin if you've got no one on your bench that's like good auto sub. So you could get Isak to Calvert-Lewin, for example. Other than that, I would leave it. Corrupt says, will shall Pedro start? I mean, we don't get any leaks on Brighton, really. What we do know is that he was in training. This was the quote from Herzler. Herzler confirmed that João Pedro will work with the group today after missing the last 2 matches. We have to see how it's going, if he can train fully, and if he can do all the movements. Of course, we won't take any risk, but he will be part of training today. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's trained a couple of times this week. I think he was training around the League Cup as well, but obviously didn't make the squad. So, my best guess is that you keep him, and he'll probably start. But if he doesn't start, he probably won't be in the squad at all. Those are the clean sheet odds for Zwefty that was asking. Enshock says, I'm going to wildcard without Haaland. Am I crazy? If I was wildcarding, I would never go without Haaland personally. I get the appeal, because like it's Arsenal this week, Newcastle away, but then like what's your plan? Game week 7 onwards. Like, are you seriously going to go without Haaland? Fulham home, Wolves away, Southampton home, Bournemouth away, Brighton away. Like, what more has he got to do? I can see people doing it, but for me, I just wouldn't do it. Looks like Jota starts. He says not sure on Diaz. So it might be Diaz. We'll have to see on Diaz. Yeah, I don't know. For me, Haaland's just one of those like non-negotiables, even for 15.3 mil. You're going to bring him in for Salah game week 7. Okay, well in that scenario, yeah, I can see it. Yeah, in that scenario, Enshaw, that's the only scenario where I'd consider it. So you wildcard now, you roll game week 6, and then you spend 2 moves to get Haaland game week 7. That's fine. I don't think that's crazy. I think that's viable. Mohit says Pedro to Vardy for a 1 week punt before wildcard in game week 6. Yeah, if I had Pedro, I think the best 1 week punts are Calvert-Lewin and Vardy. I actually like Calvert-Lewin slightly more than Vardy, but they're pretty close. I've just got a gut feeling that Everton get a result this week against Leicester. Like, Vardy's scored twice from 3 shots. Like, it's not very sustainable, is it? Calvert-Lewin's taken 6 shots, which is at least a bit more promising. 2 goals as well. So, yeah, it looks like Jota probably starts, but we don't know 100%. Oh, he did say, he just replied saying not sure on the reliability. That's why I didn't want to bring the tweet up, because I don't know this guy. I've never seen him before. We've got aim install deadline, so let's see if there's anything before the deadline. And Nkunku news, well, I mean, he's fit and available. Couldn't tell you if he starts or not. He has a chance of starting as the 9 instead of Jackson, but yeah, I don't know if we can trust it, British. That's the thing. I've never heard of that account, so I don't pull up tweets from accounts I've never seen before. What I can say in terms of Landers asking about Alisson is I asked a couple of Liverpool in the nose, and they think it's going to be Kelleher. They think it's going to be Kelleher. I just don't think that, I can't say that's 100%, but I'd be pretty sure. Everton result, lose 2-3 again, breaking the record. I mean, that's possible as well. But Calvert-Lewin could get a goal in those two, I suppose. What to do with KDB? I'd sell him if I had him. I mean, Bumo looks good as a replacement. I think DCL will start, personally, yeah. Because he's been in training. He missed the midweek League Cup game of illness, so I think he'll be fine. So based on that limited information on Alisson, if I had him, I think I'd sell him unless you've got a backup keeper. But it's a horrible one to advise on because, like, I'm not 100% right on everything. Like, no one is, and I'd hate to, like, for you to sell Alisson and then he goes and starts anyway. But I just feel like if I had him, I'd probably act on that info, even though it's not 100%. Espen says Henderson or Flecken, Aina or Fass. For those 50-50s, I'd base it on the clean sheet odds. And this week, must be pretty close between Henderson and Flecken. Crystal Palace, 22% chance. Where's Brentford? 10.5. So you start Henderson. And then Aina or Fass. So Nottingham Forest, 17%. Fass, 27%. So you start Fass. That seems quite low. Forest 17% away at Brighton. I'm surprised by that. I don't really trust Leicester to keep a clean sheet. I'd actually start Henderson and Aina, personally, for the sake of the 10%. Maybe the bookies' odds haven't caught up to how good Forest have been defensively. So Henderson and Aina, I would say. By the way, the FPL Focal app's got clean sheet probabilities and goal scorer probabilities, so if you haven't got it, search FPL Focal on the App Store. It's completely free. You can check your live rank, live bonus points, fixture ticker tool, the Players League to see what the footballers are doing, the top all-time managers, loads of stuff like that. Search FPL Focal in the App Store. It's in the description as well, actually, if you want to go directly to it from there. Link below. Russell says, miss the news, Focal. Play Pedro or Smith Rowe. I'd play Pedro. He probably starts or not in the squad. I'm not sure if they'd risk him. I'm not sure if they'd risk him on the bench if he's not 100%, because he's like one of their most important players, if not most important. So I feel like they wouldn't risk him. So you're fine to start him. Oblivious says he's got both Isak and João Pedro, one free transfer and wild card next week. Any 1 week punts will save the free transfer. We haven't had anything like concrete on Isak. This is the problem. I'd be tempted to just go Depends how much you got in the bank, Oblivious. If you can afford Watkins, I'd do Isak to Watkins for 1 week. Or Isak to Solanke for 1 week. I would do that for 1 week if you're about to wildcard. Anfield Insight says Konate starts and Jota starts. They're normally right, but again, not 100%. Not sure. I feel like they might have been wrong once or twice before. So maybe it's Gakpo for Diaz, and maybe it is just Diaz Jota. Oscar Garbo says, I've got Saliba and Vardy. I'll transfer to who? 1 free transfer. I don't think either are sells, to be fair. I know it's not great this week because they play each other, but long term, they've both got good fixtures. So I don't think I'd sell either. Like, if you really want to sell one of those, I'd sell Vardy or to Pedro Porro. Definitely wouldn't sell Saliba. Vardy or to Porro, I'd consider, if you want to sell one. I like that as well if you've still got your wild card, because you could always make a call to get him back in. Munoz or Vardy? Munoz. Renegade says, I think Vardy's a steal, guys. So what transfers everyone made this week? Let us know in chat what you've done. Samuel says, great stream, Oscar. Thanks, Samuel. Appreciate it. On Monday, I'm going on the official FPL podcast with Harry. So keep an eye out for that as well. That's going to be good fun on Monday. Captain Trent or Diaz? I'd go Trent between those, Shaq. You rolled? A lot of rolling. Oh yeah, I haven't tweeted my team. Let me quickly do that. Roll the transfer. Oops. There we go. So yeah, I'm rolling this week as well, and I'll decide what to do. Captain Haaland or Watkins? Probably Watkins. Such a close one, but I think I'd go Watkins between those two, to be fair. Yeah, Watkins over Haaland. If you're going to wildcard Game Week 6, do you activate the chip today? Yeah, if you're going to use it in Game Week 6, Jan, then activate it as soon as the game's updated. Got your name right as well there. You noticed that? Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to get much in terms of leaks. So sorry we didn't get more. Oh, did I miss a super chat? Sorry, who was it from? 40. I did do that. Transfer. Oh, sorry. Game Week 6 transfers. Trent and Jota to Lewis and Palmer. No, I wouldn't do it. Keep them 40. Oh, Game Week 6. Sorry. Game Week 6. Lewis and Palmer. Yeah? Potentially. I wouldn't want to sell Trent, to be fair. If you haven't got Bumo 40, I'd look at Jota to Bumo instead. I just don't know how I feel about selling Trent when his underlying numbers are so unbelievable. Oh, we haven't done the predictions. Let me take slow mode off and we'll do the predictions. That is the deadline. So West Ham v Chelsea. Get your guesses in the chat. Put the scoreline or the one you're predicting in the chat as well, so you know which one to put it against. I'm going to take slow mode off as well now, so everyone get your guesses in. West Ham v Chelsea. First game of today. Slow mode's off. Let's do it. 3-1 to Chelsea. 1-0. 1-0. 3-2 to Chelsea. 2-0. Everyone's saying 2-0. We'll go with that. Aston Villa versus Wolves. Is Rodgers finally going to come good this week? Villa versus Wolves. Get your guesses in. I love Bretish's confidence there. He says Rodgers to score. Was it 2-0 he said? 3-0, 4-2, 3-0, 3-1, 2-0 to Wolves. Oh, 2-0 to Villa. Okay. Fulham versus Newcastle. What are we saying for this one? Fulham v Newcastle. Slow mode is off, so everyone get involved. Get your guesses in. And as soon as we smash through these, we'll see if there's anyone to raid. 1-1. 2-1. 2-1 to Newcastle. 1-1. Everyone's saying 1-0. Leicester versus Everton. Big one. Big relegation scrap, this one. Leicester v Everton. Will Everton get their first points of the season? Leicester are on 2 points. They've drawn 2, lost 2. Newcastle are on... Everton are on 4 losses. Make sure you put the team so I know which one you're guessing. 2-1 to Leicester. 2-0. 2-1. I think Everton get a result here. 2-1 Everton. Okay. Liverpool v Bournemouth. Big one for the Salah captainers. I don't know if he's still here, but shout out to Andre who built the website with me. He's from Malta and he's flown over to watch the Liverpool game because he's a Liverpool fan. So every time he's flown over, Liverpool haven't won. So are they going to break the curse? What are we saying? Not another 9-0 surely. Who remembers that when Liverpool won 9-0 and Salah blanked somehow? 3-0? 3-0. Southampton v Ipswich. Another big relegation battle, potentially. Oh, you're in Malta this week. Nice. Southampton v Ipswich. I will never get over that. I'll never get over that either. How does he blank? The best player in FPL history, the FPL GOAT, blanking in a 9-0. And he played 90. Like, how? 0-0. Okay. Tottenham v Brentford. Tottenham v Brentford. Big one for the Sun captainers. Some have brought in Solanke this week. Some have got Pedro Porro. 3-1 to Brentford. Oh, it's a big one for the Boomer owners as well. And we'll see if Sharda does any well. Assuming he starts. 2-0? You reckon? 2-1. Yeah, I think Spurs take it. Palace v Man United. Palace v Man United. Palace yet to win a game this season. Slow mode's off, so keep the guesses coming. It only goes up to 9-0, so we can't do 16-0. And it's never going to be 16-0. 3-1, 2-1. 2-1 to Palace. You know what? Ten Hag could be in massive trouble if it's 2-1 to Palace. A lot of people saying 2-1. 2 more to do. Brighton v Forest. Brighton v Forest, what are we saying? All games will finish 1-0. 1-0. 1-0? 1-0 to Forest. 0-0. 1-0. 1-0. Alright. That would be a shame because I've got Dunk. Last one. Man City versus Arsenal. Huge one in the title race. Huge one. City v Arsenal. What do we reckon? Is it going to be low scoring again? It was 0-0 this one last season. Will someone take the 3 points this time? Can Arsenal do it without Ødegaard? Can City do it if De Bruyne's missing? 0-0? 1-0? Alright, we'll go with 1-0. Thanks very much. Oh yeah, where are we up to in that league? Let's check. Oh, red arrow last week. Down to 58th. Alright, let's check if anyone's alive that we can raid. Let's do a quick search. FPL. Filters. Live. Who's live? FPL Cayman. Not many channels live today. I don't think we're going to do a raid this week. No one's live really. Alright, no raid this week. Thanks as always for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this stream. Make sure you hit like before you go and subscribe. Good luck this game, I hope you'll absolutely smash it. I'll do a video tomorrow evening on my transfer plans / wildcard plans for Game Week 6 as well. So make sure you hit subscribe for that. Appreciate you all as always. That's it from me. Focal out.